Okay, I was like 6 years old in 1954. What I remember most were the divers. As a kid, I remember, God, I would love to be inside one of those diving suits. I'd love to do that.
I remember seeing that submarine for the first time, and I thought, my God. And you felt like it was real. You felt like you could live in it.
As a child, it's like, God, I'd give anything to be inside that ship. Why can't I find one of those?
We actually started collecting and thinking about things way back in the late 50s, as things associated with underwater.
I guess a collectible to me would be anything connected to or tied into the film. It would be like, say, a toy that would have a picture of the Nautilus or one of the divers. Like the things over here, all of them were made directly marketed from the motion picture to sell it. The Disney organization did a very minor job of the marketing tie-ins and toys for 20,000 Leagues compared with the other films put out by Disney.
I would say our most prized one would be the Bagatelle from England. Came out in the mid-1950s. It has great graphics, as you can see.
It's extremely rare to find it in good condition. And it's actually a pinball game. You pull the little plunger and the balls shoot up, and I guess you try to collect points by hitting the diver or fish or something like that. And then we move down to the shooting game.
The shooting game is really nicely illustrated, and you would put like a little BB in this little
like this pea shooter.
spring-loaded gun, and you wind it up. We don't have the key, which we did, and little fish go around, and you shoot at them.
The quiz game is probably the harder to get out of the 3 games Disney released back in '54. It's called the Electric Quiz Game, and what you do is you put batteries into it, and it asks you questions about fish and, I guess, the planet Earth, the oceans, and you answer the true, false, or A, B, C, or D. And the way you would respond is by connecting a wire to a little slot, and if it's correct, a light will come on. If it's wrong, another light goes on. So it's like you're learning through doing. It's kind of like the most educational out of all the 20,000 Leagues games.
This is the school tote bag, and the interesting thing is that this is a complete throwaway item. It was made of vinyl, and I would say that it didn't last more than 1 or 2 semesters. They would split and tear, and why keep one of these? You know, it'd be one of those things that even I would feel, throw it away and get something that would be more cloth material.
We didn't think we'd ever find it. When you look for something for, say, 25 years and no one's even seen it, let alone owns it, you think, well, nothing survived. But this one did. It's incredible. And then I guess on to the coloring book. That is the Whitman coloring book that came out in 1954. And it's just a beautiful piece of cover artwork. I've often wondered what became of that artwork. I'd love to get that painting. It's probably the nicest large-scale artwork from the film from '54 of an American item. It's beautifully painted.
Next item I see is the American Puzzle, is one of the 4 American puzzles. And this was also came out with the original release in 1954 and sold through into 1956. This item is, it's a very hard to find Ben Cooper Halloween costume. And I remember being at Woolworths when I was a kid, and Halloween, I think 1954, and wanting one, but it was a size 14 for 14-year-old boys, and we didn't get it.
God, I was mad when we didn't get that costume. We went looking for that for years. And finally, this thing shows up, and we were actually disappointed because you think, oh, it's the Captain Nemo diver costume. And when you look at it, the face mask actually comes from a totally different suit. It's like they just pulled it off a science fiction like space robot or astronaut suit. And they slapped it onto the costume, which actually has a design for a diver that's not very close to the League's diver. But it is a collectible from the film, and it's really tough to find.
The record, you can see, is a 45 RPM record, came out in the first release, 1954, and it's one of those storybooks that when the seal barks, you turn the page, and it's one of those things that had a nice artwork. No squid. I think that they were trying to downplay the squid, thinking it might be too scary for the kids. And
And Nemo's totally benign in this. He's a totally different character. It's
yeah,
really
and actually
odd.
lets them go.
Yeah.
You know, gives them his skiff and says, "Okay." you
And
know,
the seal.
And the seal goes with them.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a very, charitable thing to do to let Ned Land and
Yeah.
company leave. But that's nevertheless one of the items that came out with the original release of the picture.
Okay, moving on. These are the collectibles from Disneyland Tokyo. These are 3 of them. And they're really kind of neat. The one in the foreground is like a little red squid with a nautilus in its clutches. And this is actually a mechanical wind-up toy. You would wind the thing up, and then the thing would shoot across the table with the tentacles moving up and down. It's really cute. And then behind it, you see the desk sculpture. This is actually one of 3 that were made. And this shows the squid attacking the nautilus. It's a really nice piece. And then the third one is really strange. It must be the first Beanie Baby nautilus on record. It's a plush cloth nautilus, stuffed, and it's in the shape of the sub. And who'd have thought that anyone would have made the submarine into a plush, like miniature pillow, but they did in Japan. And it's actually one of the nicest collectibles we've ever found from Tokyo.
This last item is another wonderfully designed Japanese model, plastic model that actually sits on, I think, a plastic thing of
little
coral.
stand.
It's a little stand.
Coral
It's supposed to be
stand.
coral. It's sold through Japan. We got it from a toy shop there about a month ago.
Yeah, hobby store.
And it's beautifully designed. They stuck very closely to the original Harper look of the sub.
What's interesting about this nautilus you see here is it's now out of production. It's just amazing. They put it out for a very brief window of time, and now it's become incredibly collectible. Whenever something ceases to be made, then people really pounce upon it.
And then the price starts to shoot way up.
Oh, yeah. And another interesting thing about it is it's like this was never released in America. It's a great size, 15 inches. It's already built. So, and I think it's one of the nicest pieces I've ever seen that came out.
We haven't done a count. We want to actually take accounting of everything, but I would say it runs into the hundreds and hundreds of items, and there's always something new.
With my brother and myself, it was totally shared. We're partners in this. The only thing is there's like one-upmanship. Who can get the better item? And so we keep going back and forth. But we do feel a great deal that we're saving this stuff for posterity, because all this stuff would have been thrown out. It would have been tossed. The tote bag was found in an attic in the Catskills, and the games would have been thrown out, and these things were not made to last. They were made to be disposable, cheap, and dumped. And so we feel we really are saving an important part of movie history. And that goes along with everything else we can find from the film. It's like, in a way, it's a testimonial to Walt Disney, Richard Fleischer, Harper Goff, the whole gang who put this together at the studio. And all these things are representative of other people. I just hope the thing stays together. I really do.